NYPA, it's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Spitter spin his web into a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man to say? We spittin' live wireless, leave him shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner-up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. I fly so deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Holton, Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up a question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue card for direction, just team on the grind time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, and murder it for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. It's your boy KG, broadcasting during the July 4th weekend, at least here domestically in the United States. Hope everyone enjoying themselves and staying safe and enjoying the barbecue and the whole nine. When I think of July 4th, in summertime, especially as you get older, you realize how time just flies by. Because you're like, the next thing you know, the next holiday, you think about the next holiday, it will be September, which is Labor Day. Or is it like September 1st, if I'm correct, this year? Then you're like, damn, already September, which is like pretty much near the end of the year, going to the fall and so forth. So already past July 4th, because I'm doing this the weekend of July 4th, like 2 days after, it's July 6th as I'm recording. You start thinking like, all right, well, next time I have some time off, like a 3-day, 4-day weekend type thing. It's not till September, so you go through the rest of July, August, the dog days of summer before you head into September, and then the fall, kids go back to school and the whole nine. So by the time you flying by, you look up, especially as an adult, because you know when certain things are due, bills, mortgages, rent, so they come on you quick. So, compared to a kid, you don't realize as an adult, you're like, yeah, I got to pay this. You look up like, damn, I got to pay this bill. I got to pay this bill. So it goes by really fast. But nevertheless, I hope everyone is being safe and enjoying their summer so far. And, of course, enjoying their holiday here in these United States with fireworks. And I hope everyone's safe with that and barbecues and so forth and so on. We got some stuff going on here in Philly. I'm sure y'all heard about it. I'll tap into it and step away from it. Our city's on strike, got garbage everywhere, piles of it, and it's the union, and it's crazy. And it's the wrong time of year to do it, like when it's hot and everyone's home, and the Wawa Made in America, I think, concert, which LL Cool J put together. He dropped out to support the union. Jasmine Sullivan, who's from here, dropped out to support the union also, and it's a hot mess, literally, like hot garbage, like literally hot garbage. So hopefully they'll get it together. The city and the District 33 union, they'll get it together, and we can clean the streets up and get rid of the smelly garbage and so forth. It's crazy. Blue collar people, and you got the government. I'm not that type of show. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. It still ties into entertainment because LL Cool J, although was in this city this past weekend or on the 4th, he didn't perform along with Jasmine Sullivan, who's from here. And I'm sure she probably has some family members as part of the largest union in Philadelphia, so you never know. And you want to support the working class and get that. I can care either way. Just to resolve it because it affects everyone in the city. And I'll leave it at that. Like I said, it's not a political show. I don't get into politics or religion, nothing like that. It's pure fun and entertainment. So it kind of ties in entertainment because I mentioned the concert or festival, whatever you want to call it, and Jasmine Sullivan and so forth. So you guys have probably heard it outside of Philadelphia, what's going on. So that's happening here. And hopefully soon everything works out and the union gets what they want and we get back to business and and just keep it moving. And I'll just leave it at that without again going down that rabbit hole and going on a deep diatribe about it. So there's that. Let's get started. So we'll do ladies first. Have something on Lauryn Hill. Lauryn, I think her lateness is being called upon again. So fans face blame for Lauryn Hill's late night Essence Fest set on singer, but sources blame Essence. Intriguing. Lauryn Hill performed her classic To Zion alongside her 20-year-old son, whom she created the song about in 1998 with Carlos Santana. Lauryn Hill closed out day one of Essence Festival 2025 with a late night performance that had social media in a frenzy. Concert goers took to social media following the end of her set, which concluded at 3:45 a.m. Saturday morning, which is July 5th, at the New Orleans Caesar Superdome. Um, the blame for the icon making the stage at 2:30 a.m. fell on her as she performed. Fans shared videos of a close to empty stadium on social media. Lauryn Hill's late night performance was met by frustrated fans who endured an evening of technical difficulties. Local journalist Keith Sparrow described the scene as, quote, essentially empty, noting the stadium never reached half a capacity that night. It continues, the delay reignited long-standing critiques of Hill's history of late arrival. Lauryn Hill is one of the most sought-after live performers. Her concerts have received criticism for years. Hill has addressed the issue directly, famously telling one crowd, "Y'all lucky I make it on this stage every night." She has pointed to everything from perfectionism to energy alignment as reasons for her timing. Transportation, snags, and personal readiness have also factored into past delays. Multiple sources came to Lauryn Hill's defense following the criticism from fans. Hill fulfilled her commitment and brought out her son, Zion Marley, to perform his new hits. Promoters added her to an already packed lineup without reshuffling the schedule, setting the stage for the night's disarray. The mismanagement left all performers behind schedule, and Hill's late start became the night's final disappointment. Lauryn Hill closing Lauryn Hill's closing set followed an incredible lineup including Maxwell, Babyface, the Isley Brothers, Glorilla, horrible name for a black woman. Hill was a surprise guest. Her performance followed the high-profile cancellation of the Fugees reunion tour. Pras sued Hill for the cancellation. The Essence Festival 2025 will continue throughout the weekend, concluding on Sunday, which is today as I'm doing this show, July 6th. Other headliners throughout the weekend include Jill Scott, Boyz II Men, Summer Walker, and Jasmine Sullivan. A whole like a Philly lineup right there. And in article there. Listen. There's no one in this situation, like there's no one to really blame, but it is no way in the world as much money as I probably would have paid for this. I'm staying at 3 something in the morning to watch anyone perform, or 2:30 in the morning. I'm not doing that. I would say the blame probably on both. Both meaning the promoters and Hill. It should have been. It sounded like it wasn't very organized. In terms of, I don't know if she showed up late or not. It's kind of very vague about that. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to, let me get this camera straight, At the end of the day, what it comes down to is that maybe some acts ran overtime, her possibly showing up late or whatever the case may be. But that's not cool. People pay their hard-earned money to go to these shows and watch their favorite performers perform. Whether it's here for Wawa Made in America or Wawa America, whatever you want to call it, to Essence Festival. These people bust their tail sometimes in a year in advance to save money to buy tickets to have good seats to watch their favorite performer or performers on stage. And they expect them to be there on time and they expect to be entertained. Yes, because I'm paying good money and these tickets are not cheap. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you got to respect the fans in this. Whether you're the promoter or the performer, you have to respect the fans. I'm a fan. You're a fan of someone in terms of entertainment, performing, and so forth. You expect a good concert. Like that's because you're paying hard. I'm paying you. I'm paying you for your services. So I expect good service. I'm paying a lot of money for your services. So I expect great service. And to show up late from time to time for whatever. And I get it, life be life. But if it's a consistent, ongoing thing, there's an issue there. If it's every now and then, once in a blue moon, whatever happens. Because again, life be life. But with Warren Hill, it just seemed like it's an ongoing thing, and then have this thing of you lucky I showed up and all that stuff. Like you shouldn't say that for those who are putting money in your pocket for helping your kids and grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Like the nice house you live in and so forth. It's coming from the fans that buy your records. Is going to these shows. It's true. It's damn true. And you have to respect the audience better for that. So go to the same thing with the promoters. You got to organize that better because there's no way in the world anyone should be there at the wee hours of the morning waiting for a performance. It should start at a certain time, and at a certain time, everybody do their sets and keep it moving. You say hypothetically, let's say start at 7, let it run until at least 11. It's a 4-hour show. You got X amount of acts. Do 3 to 4 songs. Get on, get off. Get on, get off. Get on. It should be seamless. Not perfect all the time, but seamless enough where everyone can see their act. Everyone who's performing get their shit in. Fans are happy, and you keep it moving. Nowadays, it's just more of a clusterfuck. I'm hearing when it comes to concerts. I haven't been to concerts in years. I'm not a big concert goer. Lineups are dope. And I'm used to it. I guess not bragging, being behind the scenes of certain shows, than sitting in the audience and watching it. But I'm sorry, just the camera again, y'all. But you have to respect the fans for those who sacrifice uh, a lot to be there, coming from other states, coming from other countries, saving money to see a great performance. So they gotta tighten that up. She has to do better with that, have a better attitude towards that, because this is not the first time this has happened, and hopefully it will be one of the last. And but I personally put blame on both. I put blame on the performer, which is her, and I put blame on the promoter for not organizing it better at the end of the day. So, but keep that in mind, man. You have to, any upcoming artist out there, whether you're singing or rapping, and you want to make that status, treat your fans better than that. They're putting money in your pocket. They're paying money to see you. So give it back to you. Want them to come back again. You want them to continue to buy your products and so forth, whether it's music or you do something else outside of music, and they're buying your products, whether it's a soft drink or energy drink or clothing. They're doing it because they love you. Then you got to show that respect to them. You show it, they'll give it back to you, and of course pay you for it. Quite frankly, because they love you and they care about you, and they enjoy your music and what you offer them. Because the fans make the entertainers, whether it's movies, TV shows, books, paintings, comedy. Fans are your key, and fans is your revenue, and you gotta treat them right. And doing something like this is not a good thing. All right, let's move on. Got some things. Speaking of LL Cool J from earlier on, got some LL Cool J things here. LL Cool J's question rap legacy in hip hop was born here. It's a documentary. LL Cool J is one of hip hop's first superstars. He was selling out arenas by the time he was in high school. I'm sure he showed up on time. Back in the day, he was a little more aggressive and anyway. LL Cool J, Peyton, and Peyton Manning, of all people, have teamed up for Hip Hop Was Born Here, a five-part docuseries exploring hip hop origins in New York City. A deep look at how the genre emerged and reshaped global culture is offered in the series, co-created by rap legend, NFL icon, um, presented by MTV Entertainment Studios. Rock the Bells and Omaha Productions. The movie debuts on Paramount Plus July 22nd in the United States, Canada, Latin America, and Brazil, followed by international releases the next day. Docuseries goes beyond history. It guides viewers through the neighborhoods, clubs, and studios that gave rise to hip hop early sound. Interviews with pioneers like Big Daddy Kane, Dougie Fresh, Rev Run, Method Man, Roxanne Shante bring the story to life. They reflect on tracks that defined their careers and shaped the genre's legacy, while spotlighting the new voices who continue that tradition. I'll get it out. Hip hop was born. Uh, Hip hop was born here blends classic footage with fresh insight. It captures the creative energy that turned block parties into global movement. LL Cool J's hand in the project ensures authenticity. Manning's outsider curiosity adds a fresh, respectful angle. Sorry. Fans have already shown excitement online, calling the series a vital tribute to hip hop's golden era. One viewer hailed it as a celebration of the culture's spellbinding rise, while others praised its focus on New York's essential role. Uncle L plays an essential part in the growth of hip hop. His longevity in hip hop comes from the ability to evolve while staying true to his roots. From his 1985 debut radio to his hits across 4 decades, he balanced hard hitting bars with crossover appeal. His charisma, business acumen, and influence beyond music through acting and entrepreneurship kept him kept him relevant. LL respect for the culture include consistent work ethic, adaptability, and cemented his status as one of hip hop's most enduring iconic figures. The series promises more than nostalgia. It examines how a local sound evolved into a worldwide phenomenon shaping music, style, and identity. The new documentary proves how far hip hop has gone. The project honors hip hop's past while amplifying the voices who carry its future. I don't have Paramount Plus. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but eventually it'll pop up somewhere. I'm interested. That's kind of it's a crazy collaboration of Peyton Manning and LL Cool J, two icons in their own right. But again, you can't judge a book by its cover. My best friend Mike and I always discuss that. You can't judge a book by its cover in terms of who likes what. Because someone looks a certain way doesn't mean they like a certain genre. You know, because you're Caucasian, that means you like rock and country. Or because you're black, you always like R&B and hip hop. It can be vice versa. Doesn't matter. Music in general is music. If it's great music, like I love all types of genre. And like if you guys caught this show in the early years or recent years before I stopped doing it in the music playlist, I had all types of genres. I love Sinatra. I love Johnny Cash. I love Elvis. I like all types of genre. Well, just because I'm African American, I love hip hop and R&B. I love music in general. I love jazz and band music and 92 like anything that got a catchy beat, guitar riff or whatever. For me, I dig it. So it's kind of cool just to, like I say, you get a perspective, a fresh look from questions from Peyton Manning, who might surprise you, and it might be one of those cats that dig in the crates and have stuff that you might not know he liked. Um, for me, with hip hop, like I said, a lot of current hip hop artists, I'm not a big fan of, and I think things change with the time, and I get that. Everyone who listens to the show know how I feel about certain eras and times, and I ain't gonna go too deep into it. Um, I always say the best era of music, not just hip hop, is the '90s. Not just hip hop; it's just the '90s with R&B, grunge, rock. It was just dope. '80s had its thing, especially mid to late '80s, where hip hop was really picking up, was dope. But the '90s took it to the next level, even touching a little bit in the early 2000s. Now, say after that, it's kind of, you know what I mean? And the proof is in the pudding. Again, I say this a lot. Like I said, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole a little bit on this. If you listen to commercials, movies, TV shows, you hear more stuff from the '90s and some stuff from the '80s, music wise. Whether it's hip hop, mainly hip hop, R&B or whatever, then you hear current stuff. Why? Because it's staying power, and not because I grew up in it, but it's the truth. They're telling the story, like it's on TikTok and all this stuff. And my kid like surprised me with stuff that she knows, and she may be rapping on her breath like it's new, and I'm like, oh, TikTok. And it might not be the actual artist; it might be someone who may redid the song or whatever the case may be. But I think the documentary should be cool. You got Paramount Plus, check it out. Eventually it'll pop up, maybe on Showtime or something, because they go hand in hand. I have Paramount. Too many streaming services, dude. I can't afford all that stuff and keep up with all the shows. I'm being honest. I don't usually have the time, and I'm working and this and doing other stuff. And I'm tired. But I'm sure it'll pop up, and it starts July 22nd. So check it out. You're a hip hop fan, or if you're hip hop fan, or you're not, but you're still curious, hopefully you will become one. It's a great genre of music, man. There's too many rules in hip hop, though. And what I mean by that is that's the only genre of music where there's rules where you can't rap after a certain age, which is stupid. Art is art, music is music. If they can do it in other genres of music, you do it in hip hop. It doesn't matter. It's art, man. It's a certain form of art. It's the essence of art that just tells a story, tells that individual story, and in its own way. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, it should not be any rules on art. Express yourself, and that's what it should be. But go check that joint out. Let me know what you think, and I'll let you know anything if I come across it. But I think that's a good idea. You know how hip hop started in the Bronx and then spread everywhere like wildfire, like gangbusters, like everywhere, worldwide, and just different cultures dig it, and from all around the world, they love it. You know, especially the old school hip hop. A lot of cats in the '80s and '90s, man, they go out the country to like Europe and all that stuff. Man, they sell out arenas there. You know what I mean? Because they love that. They love the culture and the music and so forth. So go check it out. July 22nd, Paramount Plus. Documentary from LL Cool J and Peyton Manning, of all people. Ain't that something? All right, what else I have? All right. Staying in the world of hip hop. I'm always in the world of hip hop. There's always intriguing stories. RAKIM, KRS-ONE, Big Daddy Kane, and Kool G Rap are forming a supergroup. Interesting. A momentous collaboration that could forever shift the hip hop landscape is reportedly in the works. According to all hip hop, four of the genre's most revered pioneers, Rakim, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Kool G Rap, are said to be getting finalized in talks to form a supergroup and a record full-length collaborative album. The proposed alliance, nearly mythical in its scale and potential, has already secured a budget, sources said, signaling that the long image dream project is closer to reality than ever before. The union carries immense historical significance. Throughout the late 80s and 90s, each lyricist carved out a singular legacy, helping to define the very DNA of East Coast hip hop. They were often considered competitors, battling for lyrical dominance in what was then a fiercely competitive and creative golden era. Now, decades later, a joint project can not only mark an unprecedented moment of unity, but also serves as a tribute to their lasting impact on the culture. While excitement is high, one potential roadblock remains. One of the aforementioned artists reported hesitation regarding the extent of their involvement with the collaborative effort. However, insiders say Three of the four artists are said to be ready and willing to move the collaborative proceed forward. Adding to anticipation, the legendary Slick Rick may make a guest appearance on at least one track, adding yet another iconic voice to the mix. As of now, details such as a group name, release date, or the label behind the project remain unknown. But should it come by fruition, the album promises to be a lyrical masterclass and a cultural milestone. All four MCs have maintained active in recent years, whether releasing new music, collaborating with contemporary artists, or headlining international tours, proving their influence is as potent as ever. If realized, this project could serve as the ultimate celebration of hip hop's foundation, led by four of its most enduring architects. Wow, that should be dope. That should be as similar like the Mount Westmore with Snoop, Cube. I think it was E40 and Too Short. I think that should be like wow. Having that compared like with the Mount Westmore, that's cool. Having these four, hoping it comes to fruition, man. Life is short. You gotta have fun. Bring these talents together. Let it happen. I think everyone will enjoy it, like through and through. I think everyone will love it. It's groundbreaking for East Coast. Even if it's only just for one album, I think it's cool, man. I think it's something um, that they should do and get through the legality of it all. It's usually is paperwork and things of that nature, but hopefully, it can happen. It'll come together and to have these four MCs is dope as hell. Coogee Rap, Big Daddy Kane, RAKIM, KRS-ONE. Ah, damn. Woo! And then you sprinkle a little bit of Slick Rick in there. Jeez Louise. Like man, it's yeah, and Lord knows who could produce it. I'm getting a little tongue tied, getting all excited. And shout out to Coogee Rap who was on the show years ago. It's great cat, great dude, man. Real nice guy. The early first season of NYP and Team Maria, the very very first season, very like early on, I was able to get Coogee Rap on the show, and he was just laid back and cool as shit. Somewhere in the archives, I could find it somewhere on YouTube or something. He called in, shocked the hell out of me. I didn't think it was going to work. I don't know how I got his information last. I don't even remember. I was younger and eager and figured out. I don't know how I got to him, but he did. And the show just started. I think it was. I remember this vividly because we had back to back weeks, like January 2011. We did back because we had like home runs back to back weeks. We had Michael Bivins one week, and then we had Coogee Rap the next week. Like hit off the park. Anyway, the point is Coogee Rap, dope as hell, real cool cat. Then you got KRS-ONE who's always dropping knowledge, and Rakim. Like, come on, Big Daddy Kane. I can just imagine. So hopefully it happens. You get the legalities out the way, put the egos to the side. I'm spitting on myself, I'm all excited again. Put the put the egos to the side, and we'll see what happens. So hopefully within this year, early 26, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it all comes into play. Sprinkle in some Slick Rick and maybe others. You never know. Woo, man! Like this is something that should happen, and not a woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know what I mean? Not well, we almost did, but because of someone else or because of money, we didn't. It like a lot of stuff we missed out on, and I brought this up before, and it popped in my head like the Super album between Outkast and Tribe. We missed that one because Fife passed away. And you can't do it now. People, oh yeah, you can't. No, you can't. Because one, Dre don't want to rap right now, and Fife Dog's no longer with us. But like I said, could you imagine if we did it while Dre was still rapping, Under 3000, and Fife was still around? My God, what it's just it would have been mind blowing. So hopefully, we have these four cats still around, and even if it's just one album, it'll be just something we have forever. You know what I mean? That we could just go back to listening. Like, man, we got all these four MCs working together. These icons, of hip hop that just holding it, that held it down, and in their own right, in their own style. Their styles are different. Rakim style is different from KRS-One. Kane is different from Coogee Rap, and everyone has, and it makes it flow. It's like the Mount Westmore with Snoop and Cube. I think, like I said, it was Too Short and E40. I believe I'm correct. If I'm wrong, correct me. But I thought those are Mount Westmore, and that was brief. But at least they did an album and song together, and they killed it. And everyone has their own different flow. So here's something else. Could you imagine? Come closer. Come closer. Could you imagine? Picture this. Now, if this happens, think of the genius who came up with this. Picture this. One, a double sided album and a super concert. One side, Mount Westmore. Other side, the East Coast Supergroup. Ooh, ooh. And a concert that goes global. Damn. Woo. Could you imagine that? Now, if it happens, you heard it here first. I'm the one that came up with it. So if someone steals that shit, I want my money. Because I got footage right here saying I came up with it. So they do a double album. Mount Westmore on side A, East Coast Supergroup side B. Don't matter. Whatever. Put them together. Doesn't. I don't give a fat baby's ass. But that'd be dope. And then they do a show together, like a tour. Man. Woo. You talking about the heavens open up and angels coming down? You put those like 8 men together on stage and they rapping. These legends, icons. Come on now. Can you imagine that? That's hope. You never know. The Lord works in mysterious ways. That'll be dope. So I put that together. Put egos to the side. Get the money right. Let's do this. It'll be crazy. It'll be record breaking. It will be record breaking. Hands down. Hands down. But you remember where you heard it first. That shit happens. Y'all come to me and y'all put it out there. Let this shit go viral. I get my percentages. You know what I'm saying? I got some shit up here. Just put the machine behind me. I got change the whole thing around. I can shake this whole game up. I got some things up here. Now, I'm saying they're all good, but I got some things up here. So I'm just saying. Just imagine. Just imagine. That'd be dope. I'm stalling, so I pull up my next story. All right, moving on. Let's see. A few things here. This is interesting. All right, so Master P reveals why he's quitting music after his Essence Festival farewell this weekend. Now, the Essence Festival thing. After decades of hits, highs, and lows in hip hop, the iconic rapper says everything has changed. Why he's ready to move on after a final bow at Essence today, July 6th, in New Orleans. Master P's gearing up to make him say, one last time. Okay. I let that go. That line was kind of cool. You know how I'm hard on these writers. These writers be writing some whack shit. You know what I'm saying? So I let that go. Rapper and music mogul Bon Percy Robert Miller is as well known for the late '90s hits like "Make 'Em Say and I'm About It" as he is for being the mastermind behind No Limit Records, which helped usher in the new Southern sound of hip hop dominating the early mid 2000s. But those days are long gone. Opening up recently in an interview, Master P, who's 55, reflects on his new calling and why he's throwing in the music towel after taking the stage at this year's Essence Festival, July 6th, which is today as I'm doing the show. Quote, my last show has to be with Essence, he says, preparing for the grand finale of his decades-long music career at the upcoming festival in Louisiana. It has to be a big celebration. As for why he's ending things now, I'm growing to another level and I'm embracing it, says the star, who has recently announced as the new head coach and president of basketball operations for the University of New Orleans basketball team. Traded in his stage name for a new moniker, Coach P, was a decision that came naturally for the New Orleans native and former professional basketball player. It is a blessing now to be able to transition into doing something that's bigger than me. Being a servant in my is my most important job. I feel like hard work got me here, and though I didn't know I was going to get this far in life, God spared my life and put me on this journey. Growing up in public housing, in New Orleans in the 1980s, I was just a kid trying to make it out of the ghetto. I I just had many big dreams and goals. One of them was to play in the NBA. The other was to make hit music. His first he first left home to find his way in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where I got my hustle. I remember being with E40, EA Ski, JT, the Bigger Figure. I love it. I like that name. And all of them actually created No Limit Records in Richmond, California. After kicking off his career selling mixtape out of his trunk, Master P moved back to New Orleans. The rap scene was steeped in gangster culture and was perilous. Cole, I had a lot of close calls. He said, I went from one bad place to another, but I feel like God saved my life for a reason. He knew my heart. Master P managed to build a lasting career and avoid some of the pitfalls that befell his peers in the industry. I thank my grandparents and parents for old school values that instilled in me. When I got into these different neighborhoods, Richmond is no joke. I came with respect, and if you come with respect, you're going to get respect. The star went on to find major success and make millions while bringing many in his neighborhood along for the ride. Quote, we sold hundreds of millions of records, put out platinum records, he said, around the same time. He successfully pursued the other goal, landing a spot on NBA's Toronto Raptors preseason roster in the summer of 1999. Later, the father of 8, who lost a daughter, uh, Tatiana, to an accidental fentanyl overdose in 2022, launched a successful film career with his hit I Got the Hook Up franchise and more. But when it comes to music now, the chapter closes itself with a maturing and growing up and not being afraid to grow. Still, his decision to officially retire this year was hard, Master P admits, but I feel like this is the next phase of my life. There is a lot of negative stuff going on in hip hop, and people don't want to talk about the positive things. They say when you know better, you do better. That's the phase I'm on. I'm fine with growing up. He also excited about his new gig in sports. This is fun for me, like what I was made to do. I love these kids. I got a chip on my shoulder because people don't understand the level of basketball and experience and education I have in coaching. I want to bring the whole city up. That's that's dope. And again, you things happen when you just move on from other stuff. I don't think this will be the last we see of him rapping. I think he'll pop up down the line. Sometimes you just lose interest. Sometimes opportunity appears and you take it, and it's just like, well, I have nothing to say musically, but not just another stream of revenue, but it's just something else different. Because it was always sports first. So it was always basketball, and he loved that. And he gets to teach kids and coach kids, like like Deion Sanders in Colorado, and he did with Jackson State and so forth. Um, and it's something they love to do to give back, and I think that's cool. Being in the University of New Orleans, and there's no one better in that situation for that community than Master P, who's been there, done that, and is proof that you can be successful in life, business wise, and so forth. Always been a smart man. He made something out of nothing, and that should be an inspiration for everyone. For someone like that, is just he pulled himself up by his bootstraps, and he did what he had to do, and successful in music and in business alike, and to move on and to be a coach and head of the department at University of New Orleans. That's cool. I think he'll be back somewhere down the line. He'll pop up or something. And right now, sometimes you just lose interest. Whether it doesn't matter if it's hip hop or whatever the genre. Sometimes you have nothing to say. Just like I got nothing to say. I like this is a good opportunity here. I'm helping people, and you just leave it alone. Sometimes you might have to walk away from it to miss it, um, and get it back. You don't get that yearning back. So I wouldn't be surprised somewhere 2 to 3 years down the line, he pop back up on somebody's track. You never listen. You're never too old to rap. I don't care what no one says. If you got it, you got it. No matter if you're 55, 25, 15, 65, or whatever. Age is a number. It's about how you feel, how you just in what you bring to the game. And at the end of the day, if he feels good, he looks good, and he wants to do it, let him go out there and do it. But I would not be surprised in a few years you get the bug. He might do an album. He might just pop on with somebody's track. It happens. But sometimes you just like, all right, I said what I had to say. It's nothing else I want to do. Um, Other opportunities presents itself that could be a little bit easier than dealing with music. Um, not really got to be at times lucrative. It gets you something like, yeah, it's a deep passion. I want to do whatever. I want to open this business. I want to teach, do a lecture class, a coach, or something like that. You never know what this cat could end up. From like Deion Sanders started like a kind of a semi like small college, go to a big college, and whatever. I would not be surprised he turned this program around. He got him in a tournament or something. Another big college come knocking for him. He could be on the sideline. Doesn't matter if he was a rapper. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I've seen sports and entertainment wrestlers become governors. You know what I mean? Become the biggest box office stars in the world. It's not how you start; it's how you finish, and there's nothing wrong with the way you start at times either. So I would not be surprised as time goes on he turned his program around because his passion always been sports. So I would say in a few years outside of rapping, this cat might pop up in a bigger program. You know what I mean? Like a Duke or something. Whatever. You never know. He loves basketball. He knows it. He's good to sit kids down and an example like to what pitfalls to avoid. So kudos to him, man. That's a good thing, and I'm proud of him. And he stepped away from the stage, and there's no better way of doing it than in his hometown doing the Essence Festival today. So if you're in New Orleans right now, you're checking that joint out. I'm sure he'll get there on time. He ain't gonna be in at like 5 in the morning. People got to work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, and it'll be like Mardi Gras on stage at the Superdome. So enjoy, and like I said, I can see big things coming from. I would not be surprised he turns that program around, and then March Madness, if not in 26, March Madness in 27, they might be making a run somewhere in the tournament, and then eventually he may move up into a much larger university. Because that's usually what happens. Deion turned Jackson State around. Colorado called upon them, and you never know. You never know. But kudos to Master P. His music, he's still here. His music is part of the 90s and 2000s, and he, along with Outkast and others, Goody Mob, brought that, Lil Wayne and all that Southern flavor. And it's different. You know what I mean? Every region has their own style, and they're all good across the board. They have their own little flavor to it, and that's what you want. A little variety pack. And everyone always have to sound the same. Even if you're from the same region, you ain't got to sound the same. That's what stands out. Make art so wonderful. You know what I mean? Let's see. Yeah. All right. What else? All right. This one's interesting. Travis Kelce, the tight end for the Kansas City Chief and boyfriend of Taylor Swift, says the hardest part of hosting SNL was the table read because he can't really read that well. Kind of a effed situation. Travis Kelce had some trouble behind the scenes when hosting Saturday Night Live in 2023. During a recent interview on Bussin' with the Boys show, the Kansas City tight end said that the hardest part of hosting SNL was the pre-show table read because he can't really read that well. A writer's room were fun because you're just getting pitched ideas. Kelsey explained the table read for a guy that that can't really read that well. I can read, y'all. Who can't really read that well. It was kind of a fuck situation. I felt like I was just trying to get through the reading instead of actually acting it out and giving it a voice and giving it a character, things like that. He had it. I was just focused on don't don't fucking skip this line. KELCE hosted the 14th episode of SNL season 48 on March 4th, 2023. He was joined by musical guest Cassia Ballerini. Uh, once past the once the once past the table read, the Super Bowl champion said he was so much comfortable engaging with the comedy and silly stuff. Quote, there was still a sense of like, I need to be a professional here. KELCE said, I want to take advantage of this, but I want to have fun doing it, but I don't want to look like a loser doing this. I want to make them respect my approach and how I'm like taking it seriously. But it was just a fun roller coaster, man. KELCE has made his push into Hollywood in recent years. The recurring roles on FX's Gro- Grotesquerie. I was gonna say that wrong. He will soon appear in Netflix Happy Gilmore sequel alongside Adam Sandler. Well, listen, you know, some people are not good readers. It happens. It's and I think sometimes it's different when you are like what I'm doing, and when you read it in front of people, a room full of people, me, a world full of people, it just goes everywhere, and I get it. And sometimes your mind is running faster than your lips, and you skip over lines or you mispronounce words like I normally do here. And it happens. And it's not that you're not a good reader. And he probably is in his own right to himself is able to read fine. But you got a lot of people staring at you like I do right now, and you're nervous. And I'm nervous all the time when I read these things. I'm not gonna hold you. I am. Especially if you can see me, it's even worse. When you couldn't see me, I felt okay, but you still can hear me. So I get that. That's anyone. A lot of people who don't like to read out loud, because you got people listening, and you want to make sure you pronounce the words correctly, and you don't want to sound, illiterate and anything like that. I get that, and I don't think there's nothing wrong. But then I think you probably can read fine. It's just you got a room full of people looking at you, and I've seen the documentary. I said no, it's like a packed room, and it's can be intimidating. I was intimidated watching the documentary, and I was like, man, I can imagine everyone got all eyeballs on you watching. Now you can see me, I can't see you, but you guys out there can see me. But I feel as though that like they have all these eyeballs listening and on watching as I'm reading and so forth. And it happens sometimes your mind and your mouth don't connect, words come out, whatever, or it's like you trying to pronounce a word, but you remember everybody's looking at you. By yourself, you can like take your time and do it. We're not perfect, but I can't imagine, but I can. I've never been in that situation, but I can relate to them because just trying to read publicly can be intimidating and nerve wracking. So I give them that, and I give them kudos for anyone who has to do that. Period. Whether you're a newscaster or whatever, reading off of something, it seems it's simple, but it's not. Not everyone can do it. It's really not that simple. It is a little tedious, especially when people are staring. They want to hear it. You want to come off clear. You want to make sure you pronounce the words correctly. You don't want to sound too boring. And it's a lot of stuff that comes with that. Trust me, I do it all the time. I've done it for a long time. I mean, it's no big thing. And at the end of the day, check this out. Although he may feel that way, he's dating one of the richest Jones in the world. So hey, he ain't got no problems. He got money. She got a lot of money. Fuck if you barely can read. She don't care. She with you. So there you go. There you go, everybody. You can barely read and end up with a billionaire. Things have happened, trust me. And for those who can read, like I can very well, I have no one. So there you go. See what I'm saying? So for those who can't read well, they end up with billionaires. Those who can't read well, you still with me. So my point of saying, reading is not everything, it's not the only thing, but at least you know some words. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna move on. I was just trying to get my point across. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Who knows? Let's move on. I got a few more things here before I let you guys and girls go. Just pulling some stuff up here. I got a few things, and I got a 50 cent double bubble. But before I get to the 50 cent double bubble, I'll go to some individuals. If I'm going to the double bubble, I just want to see double bubble because it feels good. Anyway, um, I'll start with this one. Clips Let God Sort Them Out, which I love that title. Clips Let God Sort Them Out tracklist featuring Kendrick Lamar, Nas, Tyler the Creator. The Thornton Brothers' first album, 16 Years, arrives in July. All right. The closer story in the film continue the Virginia-based Bread's cinematic album rolling out have rolled out this past last Monday. I'm off. My days are off on Monday, June 3rd, comprised of brothers Gene Malice and Terrence Pusha T. Thornton. Revealed the star-studded battle lineup featuring slated to appear in Let God Sort 'Em Out come July 11th. Um, Fans are probably already familiar with Kendrick Lamar's appearance on Chains and Whips, but other guests include Nas, Tyler the Great, Pharrell, The Dream, John Legend, Ab Liver, Stove God Cooks. Interesting name. Let God Sort 'Em Out was packed with 13 songs, fully produced by Skateboard P. Clips kicked off the album rollout with Ace Trumpet and released the menacing So Be It music video on YouTube, but hasn't made the single available on streaming services yet. It's the first Clips album in 16 years since Till the Casket drops late in 2009. Miles departed from the group following a studio session with Rick Rubin and pursued a deeper relationship with his faith. However, he started to feel a purpose in rap in recent years while making baby steps with features alongside his brothers in projects such as Pusha T's Is Almost Dry and Ye's Jesus is King. Def Jam allegedly attempted to block Kendrick Lamar's feature on the forthcoming Clips album, which resulted in Pusha T's negotiating a seven-figure buyout from the label. Pusha T and Malice have since brought their talents to Jay-Z's Roc Nation in a new distribution deal. The Thornton brothers will be hitting the road this summer in support of Let God Sort 'Em Out, with the U.S. tour scheduled to start in Boston August 3rd. The Clips will also make stops in NYC, Philly, Miami, Atlanta, Cleveland, Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, San Diego, and wraps up in Detroit September 10th. Let God Sort 'Em Out. Love that freaking title. Here's the track list. The Birds Don't Sing featuring John Legend and Voices of Fire. Chains and Whips featuring Kendrick Lamar. POV, Point of View, featuring Tyler the Creator. So Be It, Part 2. Ace Trumpets, All Things Considered, featuring The Dream of Pharrell Williams. MTBTTF, don't know what that means, but that's a track. EBDITA, featuring Pharrell Williams. Seems like I'm reading the eye chart at the eye doctor. FICO, see, featuring Stove God Cooks and Glorious Bastards, featuring Ab Liver. So far ahead feet, FEAT, Pharrell Williams. Let God Sort 'Em Out. The Chandeliers featuring Nas. By the Grace of God featuring Pharrell Williams. Pharrell's on this doing a lot. Wait, Skateboard P. Love that title. Let God Sort 'Em Out. Check him out. He's coming to a town near you. I do want to hear. I definitely want to hear some of these tracks from the Clips, and the Clips is dope ass duo. They got it at like a dope ass flow. I love the title. Let God Sort 'Em Out. It's certain albums that titles that I love. Like just the titles of it alone. Uh, Common's album from '97, One Day It All Makes Sense. I was drawn to that. The Roots, '99 was When Things Fall Apart. Titles like that. Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, because it's Tribe albums, but just certain titles. Redman, What? The album? It's like very unique titles and albums I'm really drawn to. And there's a lot more I can think off the top of my head, but I love to Let God Sort 'Em Out. Just that title right there, that's a dope. To me, it's a dope ass title for an album. But check it out. I definitely want to hear the one with Nas on it, which is called Let God Sort 'Em Out. So I do want to do that. I wish I still had the playlist at times so I can play some of the tracks, but alas, I couldn't do it no more. They shut me down on doing that. I don't know what accent that is, so don't sue me on that. So yeah, can't do it. But I'll listen to it and I'll let you guys know, especially if I come across the album, come back up discussing it. And I want to hear the song we have with Kendrick Lamar. So you'll hear my review one way or another. But let God sort them out. Go check it out. Go check it out. Drake appears to call out friends who left his side after Kendrick Lamar's beef. Okay, sorry. So it said Drake appears to call out friends who didn't stand by him after Kendrick Lamar's beef on new song "What Did I Miss." Drake seemingly reflected on the aftermath of his public back and forth with Kendrick Lamar, and he's making it clear how he feels about those he apparently lost along the way. This past Friday, July 4th, 38-year-old musician released new single "What Did I Miss" as part of the Iceman Episode 1 live stream alongside an apparent message for friends who didn't take his side amid the high-profile hip-hop feud. In the track, the OVO sound founder offers some words for the traders in his life, and he appears to name drop Lamar's June 2024 the pop out concert in Los Angeles, the one where Lamar performed his diss track "Not Like Us" 5 times back to back. I don't give a F if you love me. I don't give a F if you like me. Drake opens the new song asking me how did I feel. Can't say it didn't surprise me. Last time I looked to my right, you N-words were standing beside me. How can some people I love around I love wait. How can some people I love hang around this P word who try me? I guess maybe the PUSSY. Um, After the first verse of What Did I Miss, in which Drake declares love for my brothers, death to a traitor, he elaborates in the second verse. I'm back in your city tonight, walking around with my head high. I saw bro with a pop out with them, but been deriding gang since headlines. He raps, releasing his 2011 Take Care single. Well, it feel like nobody's there until you start giving out two tones, and nobody cares until they in front of two stones. Y'all been on that type of timing too long. He continues. Drake paired his new single with a visual featuring himself posing with dozens of what appeared to be weapons near a pool before dancing in a warehouse of ice. Drake's latest comments come more than a year after the beef with Lamar 38 resulted in the release of several disses from both parties, including Lamar's Grammy-winning track "Not Like Us." Former Drake collaborator Future, Metro Boomin, and Rick Ross were among those who involved in the exchange of diss tracks in 2024, as other collaborators appeared at Lamar's pop-out concert that June. Since then, Drake has taken legal action against Universal Group in the months that followed the release and promotion of Not Like Us, alleging that the song defamed UMG as song defamed him. UMG has denied the accusation that it intentionally tried to harm Drake's career. Since then, Drake has released his first album since the feud. His collaborative efforts with Party Next Door, Some Sexy Song for You, which spawned his new single Nokia, Some Sexy Songs for You, released in February, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 albums chart, while Nokia peaked at number 2 at on the 100 in April. Hmm. Hmm. Well, I would say this. One, move on. Let it go. If you feel as though cats have stranded you, again, you don't have to do it publicly. You can talk to them privately. Call them like, yo, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. and you're being vague. You're not naming names. I always say if you're gonna diss someone, name names. You big and bold to write a rap about it, name names. Like, yo, so and so, where the fuck were you at? Blah, 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 whatever. If you want to go public, if not, you get one or two things. Check them down. Check them privately, or let it go. And like, you know what, fuck them. You know what they're all about, and just keep it moving. And keep doing your thing. And when it comes down to it. But you gotta let that shit go, man. Like it is what it is. There's no real winners in this situation. Um, just do your thing. Be you, do you. Continue making money, and do what you gotta do. And if those who you felt as though left you stranded, fuck them. You just keep it moving because eventually they might double back and come back to you. And then that's when you be like, you know what, F you and what you stand for. You left me stranded when I needed you and I thought you had my back, this, that, and the other. The greatest revenge is success. Continue to do what you do. You got talent, you know, do what you do. Whether it's in business, whether it's in music, that's how you get back. That's what you do. And they'll all come crawling back when you come hot. Everything's cyclical. It was hot now, going to cool off. It was cool now, it's going to be hot again. Everything's cyclical. So do what you got to do and keep it moving. But stop bringing this up, let it go, and then come back stronger than ever and do your thing. It's what you have to do. Beating a dead horse and talking about it. It's not going to help. No need for looking. As Nas will say, no need for looking back is already done. So take care of your business and just be successful. Do what you got to do to keep it moving. That's it. Be successful where they can't say nothing to you at all. And them same cats will come back to you sniffing around when you're hot again. That's just it's life. It's the American way. In your case, the Canadian way. You know what I mean? All right, we'll end with a double bubble from Fitty. It's a Fitty Diddy thing. Fitty Diddy thing. See that rhyme? I could be a rapper. No? Okay. 50 Cent congratulates rival Diddy, but not guilty verdict on top charges. He calls him the gay John Gotti. 50 Cent was quick to react to the Sean Diddy Combs verdict Wednesday, seemingly hailing the disgraced rapper for beating the feds before quickly dubbing him the gay John Gotti. Diddy beat the feds. Quote, Diddy beat the feds. That boy's a bad man, the rapper said in an Instagram post alongside a photo of himself grinning and applauding emoji. 50 Cent, who has a long-standing feud with the disgraced music mogul, then compared him to the infamous mafia boss who was nicknamed the Teflon Don, as the prosecutors couldn't get charges to stick. Beat the Rico, he's the gay John Gotti, the rapper added. The In the Club hip hop artist was name dropped during the trial back in May during shocking testimony that touched on the long-standing feud between the hip hop legends. Diddy ex-assistant Capricorn Clark has told jurors her boss once implied he might pull a gun on 50. I don't like at all the back and forth. I like guns. Clark recalls Combs telling the manager after seeing 50 Cent on an MTV event. 50 Cent, who famously took 9 bullets during 2000 shooting in Queens, reacted to the name drop with mocking Fox fear. Wait a minute, Puffy got a gun? I can't believe this. I don't feel safe, the New York native posted on Instagram after the testimony. LOL. The beef between the pair began nearly 20 years ago after 50 Cent, whose real name Curtis James Jackson III, god damn, his whole government name again, released a diss track, The Bomb, in '06 that accused Combs of knowing who killed the notorious B.I.G. He spent much of Combs' sex trafficking trial roasting him over the torrent of graphic evidence and accusations leveled against him. I'm going to the next one, and then I'll say my comments. The 50 Cent blast Diddy's legal team. 50 Cent is taking aim at Diddy's legal team for how they handled the sex trafficking trial. Fifth particularly took aim at Mark. I'm gonna get this last name wrong. Ang- Anganilifo in his conduct during the closing statements. Commenting on Instagram, 50 Cent wrote, "Damn that, damn they did Diddy dirty. Them closing statements, man. I could have done better than that. How much he paid them lawyers." In a since deleted post, he added, She didn't have to. She didn't have the worst lawyer. You are the worst lawyer. Remember the name Mark Agnello. He just got Diddy ass. He just got Diddy ass 20 years. 50 previously recommended Diddy to hire ASAP Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tapapino. Tapapina. These names are difficult to pronounce, y'all. 50 wrote on Instagram, um, if Diddy can get if Diddy can get the job, if Diddy can get Joe, he might beat the case, but he's gonna have to pay a lot of money. There's no time. There's no time to prepare. Um, Tacopina has revealed that Diddy had reached out to him before the trial started earlier this year. The famed lawyer, who also represented the likes of Donald Trump and baseball legend Ozzie Rodriguez, had previously told the Breakfast Club that he was not interested in representing the accused sex trafficker. He said, "I was asked to take a look at the case. That's another case I said I was not interested in." Tacopina then revealed the reason was because he is close to Jay-Z. "I represent Rock Nation. A lot of people in Rock. I'm very close with Jay, Rock Nation president Desiree Perez, who the most amazing like bomb of a boss. He's amazing, Jay Brown. All of those people are just like they really are special people. That's sort of family to me. I don't think they see eye to eye with P Diddy." Uh, Tacopino also dismissed the idea that Jay-Z and Diddy were close. "Everyone wants a picture with P Diddy at one time or another when they went to a party." All right, let me stop there because then it goes in there like repeating itself. Okay, they were friends because he's in some Jay Z's videos and they hung out or whatever. So again, everyone is trying to separate themselves, and I get that. Also, a lot of people they're trying to separate from. Again, shame on you because you seen what happened. But I'm not gonna get to that. I'm gonna get into the 50 Cent thing. The 50 Cent thing is, I get it. You don't like the guy. I get that. But at the end of the day, it was like, what's your end game? Like, just let it go. That dude's gonna suffer for the rest of his life. I don't see why you keep just talking about it and making like let it. He's gonna suffer whether he's going to jail or not. He's done. His goose is cooked. Like his career is over. No one's gonna touch him ever again. He's that's it. Nothing is worse in life than dealing with your conscience. You can't run away from that. You can't. And he knows what he did. If he did it, and he has to live with himself. You can't run from your conscience. That's the worst prison in the world is fighting your conscience. You're trapped within yourself because you got to deal with that. And he's going to suffer for it. And if he's not suffering already, mentally and emotionally, um, his reputation is done. His career is done. No one wants, not going to want to associate with him publicly. Some not even privately. So it incenses me at times where it's just like childlike behavior. It's like, man, you're 50 years old, meaning 50 Cent. And it's like, dude, leave that clown alone. Like now you're just being childish. Let that dude rot. Let him go. Let him. He's going to deal with that on his own. Like you poking fun and the gay John Nutty. It sounds like you're like 16 years old. Like stop being childish. Let that clown suffer, and you go on and continue to make your billions in businesses and all that stuff. Focus on that. Leave him alone. It's like just leave it alone. Like it's not funny. It's not cutesy. It's not entertaining. It's just like, all right, we've seen it before, and it's tiring. Let's do something different. You know what I mean. You got a whole empire to overlook. Leave him alone. He's old news. He's yesterday news. He's out of here. There's no need to. He's done. You know what I mean. It's over with for him. Like it's just put a fork in him. He's done. He's beyond done. He's not coming back. He's not. No one's going to touch him again business wise at all. That's it. That's it. I'm telling. No one. The scarlet letter stays on him, whether you find him guilty or not, whether you agree with it or not. He's done. He is. Like no one's going to go back to him. No one's going to flock to him. Here, the dude Tacopino, he's like, oh, him and Jay weren't close at all. And the time they took pictures together. Tacopino, come on, dude. You're not a PR person. You're horrible. Jay hung out with him. They all rode with each other. He's in some of Jay's videos, chilling. What are you talking about? Not taking a picture. He's been in videos. They hung out with him and come on. That's what happened. It is what it is. No, everyone knows the history knows that. So don't try to clean it up. It's too late for that. You're not a PR person. You're a lawyer. Shut the fuck up. PR person can do a better job than you. You're just a lawyer trying to keep money in your pocket. That's all. We're family. Yeah, because they're paying you. That's what it is. You don't give a fuck about nobody. You care about your pockets. That's all you care about. You know what I mean? Like they're paying you more than what the trial can offer. Trust me. I love these people. Yeah, because they're paying you. I love anyone who's paying me a lot of money not to get involved in something. Shit. Come on. I can read right through that. That's what you're saying. Come on. It ain't about you care about. You don't care about. You ain't got no love. That love is in your wallet and your bank account. Come on. Please. Because they weren't paying you. You were working with Rock Nation. Your ass would have been sitting right there defending them. So let's cut the clown act and stop acting like you're doing something good and shit like that. Come on. Please. Please. I could read right between it. Whether I agree with it or not, I could read between the lines. It's just total bullshit. It's all bullshit. Everything he said is bullshit. Joe Tacopino. You know what I'm saying? And with 50, like I said, homie, focus on your billionaire business. Leave this clown alone. He's done. He's done. It's just that's it. It's not even funny anymore with the alleged crimes that he did. It's just not. It's sickening. Um, and whether he's going to pay for it from the law or beyond that, he's going to pay one way or another. Karma's a bitch, and if you put it out there enough negative karma out there enough, it's going to come back on you in some shape or form, and it's coming back on him. So I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm just letting you know if he did, it's coming back on him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just his cross to bear for the rest of his life. What are you gonna do? But what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna let you guys go and thank you for another episode of NYP Entertainment Radio. Remember to press the subscribe button to get notifications of new episodes of NYP Entertainment Radio from YouTube, Spotify, and more platforms to come. And remember, 2026, Who is Kyle Graham? The new podcast will be starting up, and I'm ending the NYP Entertainment Radio this year. This is the final season of NYP Entertainment Radio. Folks, stay positive. It's rough out there, I know. It's easier said than hard to do. Believe in every higher power you believe in. Take it day by day. Try to keep positive people around you. And just don't let the bullshit get to you. Again, easier said and hard to do. But just take it in baby steps and day by day, and it'll work itself out. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, small dogs will be waking up people early in the morning, especially in the summertime. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the week. And Lord willing, I'll see you here for another episode of the final season of NYP Entertainment Radio. And normally, like I said, I wish I could play the outro, but the punk asses at YouTube were flagging, like, there's a sample on it, and all that stuff. So you hear the applause, you see the logo, and that'll be end of the show. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you next week. NYPA Entertainment Radio.